I can't remember the exact date that we did that. I think it was like April. So October through April. So most, this is mainly peak season. What we were looking at was 25% of our revenue was coming from groups, 5% from leagues, 4% from the rack rate, which is like the premium rate. So we got the opportunity to increase our price. I think we also have the opportunity, and I fully hear what Jeff is saying. We need to make space for groups and leagues, but a lot of times they're taking like maybe a premium spot where we could be getting, even a further premium kind of full rack rate there. So I think what Jeff has proposed is a very good starting point. Jeff, just so you know, like the junior rates, the golf now rates, the 9-hole rates, the Talent Club rates, I didn't see those in there. So, I think we need to have a conversation, offline about those. But the 20% across the board, I'm fully in support of. I think we also need to just, kind of play around with the mix a little bit and figure out. We as a board will say, these are the time slots that we have available for groups and league play. And they slot in for them.
Yep.
And, there's going to be some good ones and, maybe some not so good ones. But that's my thought.
I have to.
Golf now, go ahead.
No, go on, Jeff. Continue.
So for golf now, for the last two plus years, we haven't discounted that rate. We've consistently held that rate at the rack rate on what's advertised. Golf now, we do have a trade with them that they can, discount the hot deal occasionally, but for the most part, they held right there with us. So, we could go through those other rates for sure, Adam, but for golf now, we've stayed at that rack rate at whatever it is.
Yeah, and golf now makes up a huge percentage. That's like another 25% of the revenue. So if that's the case, you're closer to 30% than 4%. Thanks for clarifying, Jeff.
No problem.
So I think we just need to look at the times and the quantity of the groups and the leagues. And Jeff, I know you had talked about the Wednesday group to limiting the numbers there. I think we need to do that with all the groups to open up some more quality times for the full rack rate. So if you and Adam can work on that.
Is Wednesday considered a league or a group?
I don't know.
Both the late and the because they pay into the shop and gift certificate money. So an additional $10 goes in for that.
Yeah. I'm more concerned about the groups.
Yeah. I mean, I know Kenny has a group on Monday. Monday mornings. Do we have groups on Saturdays or Sundays?
We have the singles on Saturday afternoon, and we do have some groups on Sunday as well.
Because I'm thinking those are probably times when the working people want to get out and play golf. So I think that might be one of the first things we look at. I know the singles have been with us for a long time. Let's look at the weekend groups, because I think we could get more outside play with that.
I understand. I hear you.
Okay. I know they've been with us, Jeff, and I'm not saying to cancel them. I just want to look at what groups are there on the weekends.
I'd like to
I just want to say this. Go ahead, Phil.
I'd like to put a minimum on what a group can be. Have a policy. If you want a group, you have to have this many players.
Well, I think we do.
Yeah, it's always been 16. If you feel like it needs to be higher, let me know. But we've had 16 in the past, and
I don't know. I mean,
When you do this thing for us, can you also put down what time these people play?
Yeah. Well, during crossover, it's 7:45 and 9:37 in the morning, and 12 to 1:37 in the afternoon. And then after that, 4 o'clock is twilight. So crossover, we're able to utilize more tea times, which gets some more people out.
Jeff, if you could give us the number of people that normally play in each one of the groups, I think that's what we're looking for.
And what time?
And yeah, like I know that that one women's group that play on Saturday, they never have 16, or very rarely do they have. So I think we need to look at the number. Yeah, so I mean, we need to relook at that. And any of the groups that don't have on a regular basis the minimum number, and then we just need to look at what our new minimum number is going to be.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is just maximizing the revenue in peak season somehow, and being more efficient about how we get that revenue. And our local residents and local people that support the club, I completely want them to continue to support the club. But the people that are, here seasonally or, down here on vacation, they need to,
Pay it.
yeah, they got to pay the premium rate. And we need as many of them paying as possible, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand that. I see that. I would, once again, say this to you. You're going to do close to $3.5 million this year. And post-COVID, you're doing about 2.7. So you have seen sizable increases using the groups in the league and the outside play that we can grab along with tournament stuff in the summer. So
Is that the green fee revenue?
just remember who your customers are here. Don't cut your nose off and spite your face here. Don't get, and I hate to use this term, but too greedy in what we think, because we want to maintain the same kind of friendly business model that we've had in the past, been able to let us increase our revenues at the level we have.
No, I agree with you, Jeff. I think we're just trying to be more efficient and get the most that we can out of all of them. So we just want to just take a look at the groups, and I'm not saying get rid of them unless it's not a productive quality group. And I think for the most part they are, but there are a couple that are not, and I think we need to look at those.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
One other thing, you guys are taking the champion signs out of the parking lot?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me understand why.
Okay, first,
That was my initiative, and it kind of created a feeling of a club, and people feeling welcome at Stony Brook. I just like to understand why.
okay, first of all, and this has never come up, but increasing the patio, I have a sense that we were supposed to increase the parking lot based on stuff that I had looked at, number one. Number two, Andy DeSalvo always had those signs there, and he wanted that for wounded warriors only. We've never followed that. Number three, those parking spaces are very rarely used by the people's names there. And I get it, but I just think we need to acknowledge them with the sign there, but I really think we need those parking spaces. And I know it was your initiative, but I think we need to have those parking spaces. There's one there that I'm not even sure she plays with us anymore. Then that parking space is used by employees or other people. And I know one of the other ones, their wife uses it all the time. So I just don't think it's the most efficient way to use the parking lot. And yes, I still think we need to have signs to acknowledge these people. But holding off of quality parking spaces, I don't think are the best use of the parking lot. Very good.
Okay. I understand.
Everyone parked in my spot.
Yeah. So.
I had a spot for 4 years, everyone parked in it.
I didn't park on yours.
Well, there's just no way to police it. That's the
Yeah.
issue, so.
So I just think, but I want signs there to acknowledge who they are and that they've done that. I just,
Where would we put where would we put the new signs?
I don't know.
Can we put in a scoreboard?
We could put it near the scoreboard.
Yeah, we could do that.
Put it near the scoreboard. I think that would be a great idea. But I think that's something we have to look
Yeah.
at. But I definitely would like, I need those parking spaces.
Okay, I hear you.
Okay.
And with the expanded patio, I completely understand. So what we'll do is I'll get Mike Stevens, the guy who does our signage, and see what we can do on the scoreboard to put those champions across there,
Okay.
and then we'll go from there. Yeah, that'll work. I mean, I've seen that at other clubs. I just want, I just like the idea of having that homey feeling to the golf course, where people feel welcomed and wanted and feel acknowledged.
Right.
And we've done such a great job, and you guys as well, and boards in the past, Mr. Harlan and Mr. Richel, with creating the junior program and how kids feel welcome here, and how welcome people feel here. And Chris, if you're on the call, Chris can remember back to the days when I got interviewed for the job. And one of the things that stuck out to me was how it felt kind of sterile. And under Bruce, all due respect to him, we had a very sterile golf course. And I just don't want to get back to that. I want to make sure we have that homey feeling, because that adds to us being able to book out the golf course and feel the feel-good portion of it. You know what I mean?
No, I think you're right in that, and I think doing it by the scoreboard would be really good. So,
Okay, we'll get it done.
okay, thank you.
Speaking of the scoreboard,
I'll pipe in here for a second. Yeah, to Jeff's point, it's a very valid point. It was clearly a more industrial type of environment, for sure. And again, no offense to the prior administration, but at the same time, just listening to what everybody's saying, clearly I think we have a vision of where we want to go. I think we can respect everybody's perspective and come through with a plan here that will work for everybody. So we certainly do need to maximize revenue, but we also don't want to kill the client at the same time.
Right.
Sounds good to me.
Right.
the
That's all
scoreboard.
I have.
Okay, Phil Olive has a question about the scoreboard.
Yeah, what's the story with the advertising on the back of the scoreboard? Is that a big revenue gain for us?
Well, Jack paid for the
Jack
score.
paid for the
He
scoreboard.
paid for the scoreboard?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's,
all right. It's just a little bit of an eyesore. But no offense to Jack. I love Jack. It's just a little bit of an eyesore. I just don't think we need roadside billboards on our golf course, but that's just my opinion. Yeah,
Well, I mean, we're in a more of a position now where we can afford it, so we could always
paying back.
and make it straight to Pellinger.
good.
You know what I mean?
I think it's something we need to think about in the future, especially if we're going to redo the golf course. And we don't really need to have that precedent, I don't think, of having an advertisement on a golf course,
Right. Good point.
even though it's already been
Back in
set.
those days when it was built, Bill, we didn't have a lot of money, so we borrowed from anybody we could, including Jack.
Yeah, I get it. Like I said, I love Jack. I just don't, if we're moving forward the way we want to move forward, I think we need to take a look at that, so.
Good point. Is
I
Jack
agree.
getting a new clock for us?
Well, there is no, Jack, what we really like to do in the Phil's point, we want to make it look as classy as possible. We like to do what's called a Verdine clock.
Right.
Out of Ohio. It's a really nice clock. But it's about $15,000 to $20,000 to install it. I mean, it would be beautiful and it would last long, so we're not here. But, how do we justify that kind of expense obviously Jack's not gonna pay for $15,000 to $20,000 clock.
Let's do a GoFundMe.
Maybe it's a situation, where we, everybody donates a little bit and we get it. But I mean, it would be one of the final touches to the back area now that looks so fantastic. I mean, being away from it for a month and coming back, I couldn't believe how good the back looks.
Looks great, you're right.
And how,
Well, that's something we'll have to,
the back,
that's something we'll have to think about, because I think we do need a nice clock there, and I don't want to continue to get inexpensive ones and have to keep replacing them, because it'll be up to the $15,000, $20,000, so. Well, let's think about what we can do.
there's a spot that's landscaped now, a circle that we could put that clock in, and it would be beautiful, and it would illuminate at night, and it would just add that extra piece there for, what we've done in the back, and I mean, it would make it more of a show place, but how do we, like 15 to 20 grand for a clock? I mean,
That's a lot.
that's expensive.
How much are the clocks we're putting in now?
Well, I mean, Jack did it, and we just traded advertising for it, because we had Jack Mancini on the clock. But it was kind of cheap, and didn't work, and there were issues. So,
No, I was curious. I've never purchased a clock that big.
Yeah.
no.
I don't know.
This one is,
We'd have to ask Jack what the cost was,
They're
but,
not cheap.
15, 20 grand will be on the low end.
Yeah, they're not
yeah.
Yeah, they're 50 to 100
Yeah.
someplace.
yeah, the big ones are.
Yeah.
I mean, they make one, and I think I sent you guys an email a couple months back where Dean had showed us one that we could use. It's kind of like the same clock you see in Times Square at the beach, or if you ever played Mediterra, they have one. There's a couple different golf courses that have it. I mean, it might be a pipe dream, but it would look really nice.
Well, raise the revenues, get the money in.
Okay,
Okay,
do what we can.
all righty.
Do a charity tournament.
That's all I have.
Clock.
Yeah, we'll do a charity tournament to get a clock.
Yeah, we can do that.
Go back to the future and dance, save the clock.
Yeah. Okay, is that it, Jeff?
That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Back to that parking lot, we're getting more and more people carpooling. And they're coming in there early in the morning, and we're setting up, and they're dropping off cars, and then they all go in one. And there's a couple of trucks out there that park all night, and sometimes during the day.
I
You need to call me or get those tags and get them out of here and I'll call.
Yeah,
Do we need to put a sign up?
No.
Have to be explicit saying, hey, this is not authorized parking. I mean, but before we do that, I'm saying before we call, if there's not a sign, they can say, hey, I'm just asking from, I guess, from a litigation.
If we want to have them towed, yes.
You have to.
There's a statute that outlines it, yes.
But do we have any of those signs
And
up?
what we need to do, though, first is, and we can adopt a resolution, have it at the next board meeting, adopt a towing policy and designate towaway zones. And this would be one of the towaway zones, and if the board's so inclined, I can have that prepared for the next board meeting.
please do, because I know Danny brought it up that it's one of my neighbors who can't park in his driveway because he's got a name on his truck. So, yeah, let's do that, because,
You got that white van too.
Yeah, I called a couple people before the paving because they couldn't pay if those cars were,
Right.
those trucks were there. And the guy's trying to sell his truck and said he was allowed to stay there with Andy, and I said he can't do that anymore, so he's
Steve
trying to sell
Mancini's
it.
got his truck out, right?
yeah,
You got his truck moved?
yeah,
Do we have a sign in the parking lot that says no overnight parking?
no.
No.
So that's what Tony's going to put together for the next meeting.
Well, one will be a no unauthorized parking, no parking, and then towaway areas, and you have to list the sign on there, the vendor. You
Okay,
have to have a contract with a towing company. And so Lisa, if you can handle all that too.
Code at their own expense.
Well,
Yes, correct.
and because you have to do all that so that we are not accused of stealing somebody's car and subject to criminal penalties. We put it at the entrance to the parking
You have a
lot.
lot of cars after Duffy's closes, I would think there'd be a few overnighters.
Yeah, let's hope they're not on the road, but,
Do send me any information or tell me I can look and call those people and get their tag.
yeah, Danny, I
You
guess,
gotta put the sign in first.
I
Well,
could
no.
put a sign on their car, couldn't I? Just
Are there a lot when you get there in the
no
morning?
overnight parking and just.
Sure.
take
A lot
it
of
to
them
their
when you get
car?
there?
I don't know about taping it, but stick it under the windshield
Or under
wiper.
the window.
Half a dozen?
They keep going, yeah.
Yes.
that's all about.
Yeah, you can do that to start, and then we have the policy in place at the next board meeting and a contract.
Sign.
And a
I
contract.
won't tow, but I'll inform them.
Correct, and a contract with a towing company. If you can bring that to the board meeting too.
Oh, they could,
Thank you.
they could sign something.
We can ask them. Okay, so Lisa and Tony are going to work on that for the next meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
And Danny said that he would take pictures of the plates or something too, so I'll make sure he gives those to you.
We can get the HOA to fine them like they do when my daughter parks overnight here at the clubhouse parking lot. They're pretty
Well,
good at
because we
that.
don't have any
That's why some
signs
of them park
there.
out there, because they can't park in their driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good about it, so they can do that.
Interesting.
Well, I have a question, because it applies a little bit to what you're saying. On Mondays, when the clubs, or when the course is closed, typically 4 of us go play somewhere else, and we park either 2 or 3 cars here from, 8 to noon.
In the back of the parking lot,
We
probably.
park, back in the corners.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that falls in that
I
category.
think it's more the overnight issues,
It's
right?
the overnight issues.
I know this is just, like I say, on Monday or Wednesday, when they're closed, we go somewhere else and we meet here, I guess we can.
Or in season, we have people that still will park here and go play someplace else, so it's more,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I
So-
just,
Well, one of the difficulties is, one gentleman indicated was carpooling. So you may have a number of people going to a job site elsewhere who park there during the daytime.
right,
Correct? It's not just
Well,
nighttime.
this early in the morning, I think it's people going to work.
yeah.
At 5:30, 5:45,
We also we had one guy that was plugging his electric, charging his electric car.
He was plugged into the outlet behind the fountain.
Anyway,
Pretty creative, it looked homemade.
It's just a hazard of being a public facility.
yeah, so we'll do the best we can, but on Mondays when the course is closed and, that's a different issue, but it's in season when people are going elsewhere, or, we're all taking a ride up to Sarasota, meet us at Duffy's parking lot and park there. So, and I think Duffy's would appreciate us not, these people not sucking up their spots.
Yeah, they need them. We need them
We need them,
open as much as possible.
yes,
Special
so,
season.
okay, so, to our mission, okay, thank you. Anything else? Okay. Tony, the update on the Parks Pines? Yeah.
No, I was just emailing Mr. Chaffee and Mr. Capps with regards to their current status, because as to the DO, and so I'll find out that out and pass that out when I get that information. The South Florida Water Management District permits have not yet been issued
Okay.
for the storage facility. I didn't find any yet for the other piece on the west side. Where they're going to do the Aldi's or hardware store or whatever.
But we've done everything we needed to do.
Yes, and so I just asked him, I said, have you recorded the deed restrictions and what's the status of the DO? Yes.
Okay.
And in regards to that area, Cougars asked, I think I mentioned this to you, Cougars asking for like some kind of documentation for a release that they've done everything. Because when they originally started working on that area, they kind of went a little too far in the easement. Technically, it's their easement, but they realized they went too far, and that's when the county said they would work with us. And they ripped out some irrigation that they really didn't have to, but they tied back in, they've satisfied that part. There's a small irrigation issue up at Duffy's in front. When they put in the turbidity fence, they hit this line, basically the whole way down where, and it was just so badly damaged, we couldn't do anything to repair it. So we cut it and capped it. David Williams, I believe his name, David Williams, was the stereo the last time we met out there. He said, hey, they should probably have to take care of that.
Right.
And I mentioned that to Jim Neal, the gentleman, the contact I have for Cougar. It's very minimal. It really is. It's something that's pretty minimal. But regardless, if we wanted to, not release it, or we just want to go ahead and do it ourselves, I think that's probably our best bet, is to go ahead and, it's in no rush, we're in no hurry right now to get it done. But so they're looking for some type of release, saying that they satisfied fixing that area back there, and basically they've taken care of everything that they need to take care of. You know,
I guess the question is, have they taken care of everything?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, other than this other area, the small area, this little irrigation zone, that I feel that we can handle when the time comes. It's not necessarily. We're probably looking at a few $100s worth of work.
Well, I guess the question is, are they still doing work out there, where they may be poking and prodding the ground?
Not probably the ground. They're just doing punch-out work now, cleanup work. They're tightening everything up. I think they're getting ready to do some landscape. Still haven't gotten anything back from Juniper or Dorman yet on getting some plans, you know, that are within their specs.
Right.
I'm still waiting on both firms to get us something, get into that. But it looks like that's kind of where they're going with it. They got that turn lane pretty much done. It looks like they're getting some paint. They're getting close to really tightening that area up.
Yeah, if the board is so inclined to authorize, you know, signing of release, it'd be very narrowly and tightly written just for the specific area John mentioned, just in case we uncover something else in the future, or if they hit something else.
Yeah.
So if you could have them prepare it, and also prepare like a sketch or diagram of what the area involved and what the nature of the damages are.
And then we'll have it at the
And send it to you and to me,
Yeah.
Chuck, how's that?
So have them.
Yeah, prepare the initial release along with a description of the area for which they want the district to release them from any further liability. And also, I always like sketches. Because
And
a description like a linear feet of X kind of PVC pipe or heads in this area, just so we make
And
it
John,
clear.
if they don't put in there that part in front of Duffy's, don't remind them, because if we decide to have them do it, then...
Yeah, that's the purpose, is to exclude that area.
Yeah, just exclude that. Okay? So if they want to start back there, I'm okay with that. We're good with that. Check the walkway.
Yes, that's being incorporated into the project manual.
Okay.
That was one of the things that they were missing,
Okay.
which is why this has dragged out a little bit longer than I had anticipated. So they expect to have that wrapped up this week, though, so that we can actually get out on the street with the bidding.
Can you get up the rear end,
I did.
please? Started this, what, January?
Well, we knew we weren't going to do it till the spring.
We should have the bid package already.
Is that Gator doing it? Sidewalk?
We have to actually go out to bid because of the value of the contract, yeah.
Now, with the walkway, they're just repairing the parts that are damaged. They're not doing the whole
Right.
thing. Okay. I think there was a misconception that they were doing the whole thing.
When you said walkway.
Well, I mean, that's what we're doing with the concrete sidewalks, too. We're not replacing the whole thing, just areas that need to be replaced.
I was wondering, do you know if that area, like in front of the pump house, was possibly in that, raising that FPL box and where that bird bath is?
Not,
I know that's going to be coordinated after the FPL, right?
not raising the FPL box, that wasn't a part of this project. But to the extent there's any damaged walkway there, absolutely.
They're going to have to raise that box. It's just, when it's full, it covers probably 2/3.
Right.
You know, of the path. It's like hard for people to walk around.
Yeah,
It's always wet, too.
that
Oh.
spot is always bad. So, okay. The tree removal behind the Mond residence, I think we finished that last month. We're fine
Just
with that.
one last crack at it if you wanted to. We'll make that subject go away.
Yes, thank you. Okay. I know we had a problem with the financial statements for May.
It was
Oh, no, we haven't.
It was a last-minute fire drill.
Okay.
We got both April and May.
Okay.
I think my group was awaiting some information from the Black Book out of the pro
Yes.
shop, and they did get that, so.
I think that was because Stephanie she's out and her emails were being
I
forwarded.
think so.
So, questions? Okay. Governmental funds, all right, this is for the 31st.
Page 2, I got 2 questions. Chemicals, we budgeted $7,500, we've only used $75.
No, we're having some, no, we do spend more than that. We're just not, some of these budget items, even both in the golf course, are out of whack right now. They have
Common ground oversight, $28,500 that we never budgeted for. What's that?
I don't know what it is.
Chuck, can you have, check on that?
I don't even remember seeing that from last year.
I know, that's what, it's new, we didn't, there's nothing budgeted for it.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know. That is,
Spent 28.
I have the detail from Lucy on there.
John, you're going to check with Lucy?
I can, I mean,
Here, let me check in and see what that is. Is that, maybe it's something to do with the cleanup following the hurricane? It's kind of an odd title for it.
Yeah.
But I don't see anything else in there that would be related to response following the hurricane, so that may be it. Let me get the general budget, understand what that is.
Doing good with the assessments, everything's pretty much paid, which is nice. And the revenue bond has been paid off. So the residence portion is all paid off.
what page is that on, page 5?
That's page 5. So we're done.
Done.
Now, at the last meeting, we had discussed making an additional payment for the golf course revenue bond. Do we still want to do that?
It's just need to let me know, that's all. Timing-wise, we couldn't get it for the May 1.
Okay, so
We were too late in the stream. You actually have to give notice on that, so.
Okay, so the next,
But the next one would be November 1, when we'd be making a payment, and we would be able to do a prepayment against the principal.
okay, so we could make that decision in September, that would, August?
Yeah, let's not go any later than September. I
Okay,
just-
well, let's make that in, or July or August.
Okay.
Put it on the agenda for July. So-
Yeah, maybe as a part of the budget discussion in July.
Yeah.
Let's tackle that one, how do you want to handle it?
Okay, yeah, let's do that, because I'd like to bring that down,
Okay.
get that paid, okay. Jeff, remember, we're going to do that in the July meeting.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, fund will seem to be doing well. Our irrigation fund, we're good with that?
Yeah, we should be recovering some revenue here shortly, so,
Yes. That'll help,
yes.
very much so. Okay. Irrigation fund, okay.
Do we have any idea of like what our accounts receivable is on the irrigation fund currently?
I don't know.
Chuck, did you
Chuck,
get
do you
that?
know that? He's looking.
No, it hasn't been calculated yet. That's going to tie back into,
It's going to tie back to the number that Jeff's going to give Ann and Vivian. At that point, Chuck, if you could just email the board and just give us some idea of what's outstanding at this point.
I heard that Marlon, we all was going to have her pay their water bill real quick with the irrigation comes back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sure. So,
I'll have that, as soon as I leave here, I'm going to the pump house, I'll grab those numbers,
and contact.
call you Vivian, and explain to her what's going on, and say, here we go, this is the best I can do for you, with the numbers, totals in September, that's where she has it from,
Take it from there.
take it from there. That's what
Okay.
we do.
That'll be it. So as far as the financials, we don't have the ones for May, so,
I thought this was May.
Yeah, you got May.
May, we have
Yeah,
May.
you had
Oh,
April.
yeah, that's
April was a standalone and May's in the book.
Right.
these are two different.
This is May.
I don't have anything.
Oh, we don't have all the detail for May.
I only got April.
Yeah.
We had May in the book and April.
Yeah, May's in the book.
Well, isn't May April? Anyway?
No, that's actually through May 31st, then you have through April 30th was separate
This is
from the book.
This is March.
This is March.
That's March.
It says April 31st on the cover.
Mine will say April.
Period ending March 31st.
Well,
Oh, but in here it says,
but when you look at the,
here it says April.
yeah, on the cover, when you look at the actual printout,
Yeah, April 30,
But in here.
and then
it
May
says-
31st.
But Chuck, it says April, here and here, and then you get to here,
The
it's
titles didn't link back. It's all-
Okay.
It's all April. When they make the change on the title page, it's supposed to link back to all these cells.
Okay.
I'll let them know that they have a linking issue here.
but it doesn't seem like May for me. I don't have like a month to month.
We don't have May for golf.
We don't have May for
We have
golf.
April.
We have April, okay.
We have April.
So this is it. The reason is that the black book was sent, but
That's right.
the young lady that's doing it was out and her email wasn't being forwarded, so we had a little, so now we have the right person to send it to, so it'll be on time, Jeff?
Yes, we have May's information in. We just don't have the financials yet, but I think we should get that the next week or so.
Okay, so if
Got
they,
everything into them.
okay.
I would hope so.